berpartisipasi dalam interaktif seminar di hari Jumat tanggal 17 Juli 2020. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya dengan Molly hadir di sini sebagai Education Promotion Officer dari Nuffic Indonesia, bersama juga dengan Erasmus Training Centre yang akan membawakan topik pada sore hari ini, yaitu dealing with the Dutch cultural aspects that students must be aware of, ya. Karena kalau misalnya kita melihat dari segi timeline, saat ini adalah para student sudah bersiap-siap untuk terbang ke Belanda, lagi ada yang urus visa, lagi ada juga yang lagi buat janji dengan kedutaan Belanda, itu lagi lagi bersiap-siap untuk terbang ke Belanda. Sebelum kita memulai dan juga saya memperkenalkan guest speaker pada sore hari ini, kita akan berkenalan terlebih dahulu dengan Nuffic Indonesia. Sebenarnya apa sih Nuffic Indonesia? Karena teman-teman pasti sudah mendengar NESO itu merupakan kepanjangan dari The Netherlands Organization atau The Netherlands Education Support Office, yang kita merupakan organisasi non-profit yang dibiayai oleh pemerintah Belanda. Dan tugas utama kita yaitu adalah mempromosikan studi di Belanda atau study in Holland. Kita juga mempunyai 10 kantor cabang yang ada di seluruh dunia, tidak hanya di Indonesia saja, tapi ada di Turki, di Rusia, Brazil, India, China, Vietnam, kantor pusat di The Hague, dan di beberapa kantor lainnya dengan total ada 10 kantor cabang. Untuk tugas utama kita yang sudah tadi saya sebutkan untuk mempromosikan kegiatan atau studi di Belanda, kita juga membantu untuk teman-teman yang misalnya ingin mendapatkan beasiswa. Kita juga mengorganize beberapa beasiswa dari pemerintah Belanda seperti Stunet dan juga Orange Knowledge Program, serta ada Orange Tulip Scholarship dan juga ada EU Share. Serta kita juga memfasilitate scientific research collaboration between Indonesia and juga Belanda, ya. Setelah itu, kalau misalnya teman-teman ingin konseling dengan kita, untuk saat ini konseling dilakukan secara online. Jadi silahkan hubungi nomor-nomor berikut dan juga kontak details berikut, karena kita tetap beraktivitas, tetap melakukan konseling tapi online karena situasi juga masih pandemik untuk saat ini, ya. Oke, sebelum saya berkenalan, nah ini yang sudah ditunggu-tunggu, ya. Mudah-mudahan saya memperkenalkan guest speaker pada sore hari ini dengan tepat, ya, karena beliau orang Belanda. So, hello, Fons van Oosterhout. Is that correct?
That's correct. Thank you so much, Molly, for the short introduction. And,
how are you, Fons?
Yeah, I'm fine, and thank you for inviting me for this small talk, this talk show today about dealing with the Dutch. And in front of you is a Dutchman, and normally my colleagues here in Jakarta have to deal with the Dutch, with me, so to say. I'm the director of the Erasmus Training Centre here in Jakarta. So we facilitate mobility between the Netherlands and Indonesia, especially for Indonesian students who want to pursue their higher education in the Netherlands. And we do that through language training, Dutch language training and culture, but also academic training. But we have now. Of course, the COVID-19 situation, so everything goes online, and
yes.
I'm happy to do this and to show everyone what we do, but especially give a few tips and tricks about the Netherlands and to prepare them for their stay in the Netherlands, because the Netherlands is a beautiful country. But so I'm ready to show a bit of the Netherlands here during this talk show. Thank you.
Oke, so thank you so much, Fons. So, ya, jadi Sobat Neso, kita akan segera mulai dengan interaktif seminar kali ini dengan kita tadi udah meeting, udah briefing, jadi kita bakalan kayak ngobrol dengan Fons. Jadi Molly and Fons will have a chat, okay? And then I will ask you some questions about what are you going to deliver for today online session. Okay, Fons. So basically, Fons, well, you're a Dutch guy, right? So I think you are here since, is it like 10 years ago or 8 years ago?
2012. 2012 actually.
Okay, so 8 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
now
now
is
3
yeah.
years I'm attached as a director for the Erasmus Training Centre.
Mhm.
But I love living in Indonesia, of course, and that's why I stick around so long.
Yeah. Can you speak Bahasa then?
Just a little bit to come by. I used to work in all Dutch companies and English spoken companies, and it was not so necessary. But in daily talk, I can understand it quite well. As my colleagues also think he cannot speak, but I mostly understand them. So don't tell them.
Okay, fun. So, speaking of Dutch, speaking of dealing with the Dutch, so
Yeah.
could you please introduce to us about the Dutch culture, society, and also current issues, what is happening over there? Because I've been to Dutch on last February. It's so beautiful. It's cold, but we really want to know how to cope and to deal with the culture.
Yeah, and some people say how to survive, and especially for newcomers, students going for the higher education, what do they see, how to act, and what to expect, and that is always when you go from one country to another country, yeah, you have to adapt, and that is the same thing for me here in Indonesia, and I'm not saying. There are differences, and nothing is better or worse. It's just different, and you just have to get along with it. Okay, Molly, I have presented. I'm going to present a small slideshow I
Yes,
prepared,
sure.
and
Yeah.
along the slideshow, I'm going to give some tips and tricks and give some insights. Yeah, shall
Okay.
we start?
Yes, very
Very,
good.
very good. So of course this is the topic. Yeah, dealing with the Dutch. So you deal with me now, eh? And maybe it's like I make generalizations, but you have to see it as my opinion about this, and my experience about this. So the three questions for this discussion, for this talk show, Molly, is introduction about the Dutch culture, society, and current issues. How important is to know basic Dutch language, and how to deal and fit culturally with the Dutch, especially in academic environment. So also for our viewers, they are going into the academic environment, and of course, yeah, you have to live, and how to survive that. Okay. But before we start, I just put some fun facts and figures. I just want to explain to you, Molly. Um, so actually, the Netherlands is a very, very, very small country. And if you put it on a map on Indonesia, it's like Jakarta area. And if you put Indonesia on the Europe map, then you move from London. So let me put the indicator. I just learned this. Very good. Can you see the indicator, Molly?
Yes, I can see you are pointing out. Look at
Good.
that.
So,
How fancy.
this is London actually, and this is Moscow. So big is Indonesia. It's unbelievable. And this is the Netherlands. So me myself, I come from this little town, Nijmegen, also very famous for the University. So maybe some of the viewers are going to this university, fantastic university. But I don't want to promote anything, of course. Many are going to Groningen, of course, that is all in the north of the Netherlands. Some of you go to Amsterdam, Utrecht. Then there is Eindhoven, also very famous. Here is Leiden, The Hague, and Amsterdam, of course, our capital. So most people live here in this area, and they call it Randstad. And if you look at the Netherlands, you have 17.5 million. So how many live here in Jakarta, Greater Jakarta? It's 30 million.
It's
It's
not.
half. Okay? So basically, it's a small country, and so in 2-3 hours you go from my hometown. Well, actually, if you drive 3 hours, you end up in the ocean here in the North Sea. Yeah. So from Nijmegen to Amsterdam, just to give you a sense of distance and time. So Nijmegen to Utrecht with the train is 50 minutes. And Nijmegen to Amsterdam is almost 1 hour. This is 70 minutes to The Hague. And so I just want to say, it is a small country, and we can just travel by train everywhere. It's very easy. There's good public transportation, and small country, but also a very nice country to live in. I'm going to explain a little bit. Let's move here. Okay, so this is just small talk, and small talk so Molly. So if you do small talk here in Indonesia, what do you talk about?
The weather.
The weather, yes. So we always talk about the weather in the Netherlands, and so it doesn't matter. So if you want to make small talk, you talk about the weather, and of course our climate is a little bit different than Indonesia. Indonesia is very stable, warm. So you have a wet season and you have a dry season. And the climate in the Netherlands is a little bit different, We have, of course, the winter with snow, autumn, we have the summer where it's hot, and of course, we have spring. And typically in the Netherlands, when there is just a little bit of sun, people tend to go on the terrace. And people, I guess Indonesian people say they must be crazy, just sitting on a terrace with a little bit of sun, it is not. They're having their jackets on, and it's unbelievable. But also the weather. So we have a cold winter, and this says something about the culture and in the Netherlands, about the people. We always had to prepare for a cold winter. So in the old days, where let's say 70-80% were agricultural. So you have to make sure you have your livestock. You need feeder for your livestock in the winter. So in the summer you have to work hard, and in the winter you have to make sure you have enough to survive. And that is called. So what one saying is an opportunity for the birds, and that means in fact you have to save up for a rainy day. So we are a country that saves a lot of money, and that is just in our nature. You cannot, things are changing a bit, but we are a saving country. Yeah. So that is our nature. If you look at what we eat, it's also a little bit different. So in Indonesia, you eat actually warm food all day.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you start with a nasi goreng, and in the afternoon you take something other, like nice satay, and then in the evening, it is also a warm meal.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, it's a little bit different, If you go to meetings or in the campus, it is bread in the morning, and for lunch also cold, most of the time bread, and then in the afternoon, of course, in the evening you have your dinner. And this is one of the big sayings that says something about us being Dutch. We stick to what we know, and what they're saying here about the boer die kent, dat eet hij niet. So what we don't know, we don't eat. Yeah, and our food is not like super spicy with all the nice spices and everything, the beautiful spices you have here in Indonesia. It's mainly pepper and salt what we use, yeah. And so your staple food is rice on the one side, and our staple food is potatoes, mash, or anyhow, or even goreng. That doesn't matter. So what you see here, we call it stampot, and this one Molly, yeah.
Of course, the famous nasi goreng.
I think you ate it this morning. So. Food-wise, if you come to the Netherlands, you have the stampot, yes. You have the soups, the very thick soups. You eat this, especially in the winter time. It keeps you warm. Of course, the pancakes, the poffertjes, and this is something that is also quite special. We call it gourmetten, and you sit at the table, and then you cook this meat and everything what's on the table directly on the pan. It's like almost a Korean barbecue, you know. It's
Right.
very
Okay.
tasty. And if you hear this, please join. So, uh, so this is quite funny, of course. Why did the Dutch raid the world for spices and then never use them? But the Netherlands is, of course, getting a bit more international, and that's because of you, yeah, because of the viewers, you know, because you go to the Netherlands, you bring your nice spices. Don't forget your ABC, ABC,
Of
bring it.
course.
Indomie, bring it, but you can get it, no problem. So basically, our cuisine is quite international because of that we are a multicultural society.
Hmm.
I'm coming back to that later. Um, uh, let's see what we have here. Yes, and this is quite funny because I was making this little presentation, and then my colleagues come to me and say, Fons, you have to put this. I said, can I said, really, you know. But let's talk about this. Yeah, dinner in the Netherlands. So first, if you get an invitation somewhere, you know, be on time. Don't be late. Right? And then table manners 101. Yeah, you know, this is you have the normal etiquettes, but don't chew your food loudly. Don't speak with a mouthful, and the phones are off. And the dinner mostly starts around 5:30, 6. But in the summer it's a little bit later because in the summer realize this, and that is also a big difference, is that in the summer days it is light outside. Yeah, the sun is still shining until around of 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. So your day is a bit longer. Here
Hmm.
in Indonesia, around 6 o'clock, everything goes pitch dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Molly, so some people know the Chinese tradition maybe to burp after food. How do you think about that, Molly?
Well, I think I'm well mannered enough, so I don't.
I figured that. I figured that. Yes,
Well, even though
but
for
that is
Indonesian,
also a
that
big
means like
no-no.
really nice food, right? But for me, no, it's a big no. No, you have to hold it, or maybe just go somewhere to do so.
Yeah. Please. But this was a must of my colleagues just to put into this presentation, and I really appreciate that, of course. Okay, we move to the society and culture and challenges, and this is something that so I think most of our viewers already spend a lot of time behind the internet, Google, what is about. So you look for information about the Netherlands, you look for all kinds of tips and tricks, but it comes down to a few things. It's a multicultural society, and you find almost any culture in the Netherlands. Yes, you have different religions also. The main religion is actually no religion. So if you have to fill in forms like here in Indonesia, and you have to fill in what is your religion, and then you have to choose, and then you fill it out. But a lot of people don't have even a religion in the Netherlands. The biggest religion in the Netherlands is with 23%, I guess, is Roman Catholic. 5% are Muslims. Uh, but the multicultural society was built throughout the years. Started for the Netherlands started actually in the after the war. You know, I'm actually a product of this multicultural society. So maybe some of you expect this blonde guy with blue eyes, with nice cheese cheese kind of color hair, you know. But none of that. There's just a gado sitting in front of you. Because my great parents came from Indonesia, and after the war, they came to the Netherlands because it was an old colony and they have the opportunity to come. And then, of course, in the 60s, the Italians came. Then in the 70s, people from the old colony Suriname came. Also, people with Japanese heritage. And then, of course, there are all kinds of ethnic conflicts where refugees are also welcome in the Netherlands. If you move to what values do we have? It's like we don't like. We always say we try to polar, and it means polar means it's like a flat society, and so the hierarchy what you have here that you find here sometimes we don't like that too much. So we like to have it like a flat organization where you can just come in and talk to the director, talk to everyone is equal. We like this. And there's a freedom of speech. We really value that. Yeah, your own opinion is really valued, and sometimes there is actually too much opinion. So sometimes I think better, but that is typical that. So the Netherlands seem open and informal, but there are some complex social rules. Like flashy, showy, like sometimes the Americans tend to do, is really not liked. Just act normal, like it says here. Just act normal, and that's crazy enough. Doe maar gewoon, dan doe je al gek genoeg. That is a saying in the Netherlands that is here already for ages. And this is a difficult word, but it means that we like equality. So that is a very big value. Yeah. Let's move on. Where are we? Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Here we go.
This is what I really want to know.
Yes. I can imagine that, Molly, and this is especially for you.
Like, why we do have to do it like 3 times? Like, seriously, Fons, what is happening there?
Yeah, traditionally it is 3 times. The French do it 2 times, or
Australian just one time.
In Australia, 1 time.
Just
what
one.
about Indonesia? How many times in Indonesia, Molly?
I don't know, 2 times.
But I think in COVID times there is 0 times.
Yeah,
so
we cannot do it anymore. Like, what is happening with 3 times?
Even if you want it, you cannot do it now. So the 3 times is like an old habit in the Netherlands, and we grow up like that. Everyone does it, and so yeah, it is just you feel it when you can do it and when you not can do it. And so with family is normal, good friends, but not like you meet someone for the first time. You know, you have to get to know each other a bit, and then you have to feel each other and express that in the famous 3 kisses. So this is something that my colleague tried. As you start on the right side, then you move to the left cheek. So these are very technical issues here, and finish with. So it doesn't, it matters who starts first, of course. And my right is your left, and your left is my right, and so. But you just figure it out then and there. Ladies, they kiss each other. Yeah, that's normal. Men, a bit difficult, but normally not. We for men we do a handshake, but it is common also for men just to kiss each other. It's no problem. If you want to do it, go for it. You just feel it if it can happen. So, and this is the air kisses. Yeah, this is more the formal kiss. And don't go very wet on each other. And Molly, this is for you. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Sleeping long on Saturdays. It says uitslapen op zaterdag. Well, I can imagine if you're a student on Friday night, even now it is possible now in the COVID time, because in the Netherlands is a bit different now in So we are a bit more relaxed about it because of the numbers of COVID are a little bit less now. So even the cafes are open. And then on Friday you go out, you have a coffee or Coca-Cola or other stuff. And then on Saturday, oh yeah, the whole full week, and you want to sleep long. And that is common to do in the Netherlands. But I heard that it's also common for Indonesians to when you reach Saturday after a full week, then you have to do your washing, then you have to cleaning up, you put your back on, then you start cleaning your home. And you make a lot of noise, of course. And if you are in a student home with a lot of rooms and with a lot of people that want to sleep and maybe have a headache, that is not really appreciated. So this is just a tip for you. Just after 1 o'clock, you can go or pick another day. No worries.
Yeah.
So this is about sleeping long.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we move to the next topic.
Yes. So how important to speak Dutch? Because to be honest with you, I've been to the Netherlands, but I cannot speak Dutch. So I need to know how important to have or to a little bit know about the language.
Yes. So it's always nice to know a little bit of the language. Like I'm here in Indonesia, I have to know a little bit of the language. I should try it. And when I try to speak Bahasa, people really appreciate it. And even I make the silliest mistakes, putting the wrong order or anything, they make something out of it. And being in another country, speaking a language, that belongs also to the culture of the country. And although the Netherlands has the highest English proficiency in the world, like 9 out of 10 can speak English. And of course, we have our eastern part of the Netherlands, where actually I can speak German almost as fluent as Dutch. Because I'm very close to the German border. So I used to drive my car to Germany because I'm Dutch, because the petrol was more expensive in the Netherlands. So I go to Germany and that was cheap. So I moved to Germany and I put my tank full and I go back. So Dutch am I. So basically, if you learn a little bit of Dutch, it is useful. Do you really have to? No, but does it make life easier? Oh yes, oh yes, yeah. I will come back to that later. So let me give you 6 examples, Molly, and then we move to video, and then we move on. Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Let's see. We have here. So before you think of learning Dutch, you have to know a little bit about, is it difficult? Is it easy? It's not. Learning Chinese is difficult. Come on, learning Dutch is relatively easy if you know already English, because it's from the same the language family, so it's quite easy to learn. And you have an advantage, because you're Indonesian, so the Indonesian they have already a lot of words, Belanda words adapted from the Dutch language. Can you name a few?
Kantor.
Yeah, good. Correct.
Kulkas.
Kulkas, yeah.
What is that? Om.
Om, yeah.
And
okay.
Then.
Makasih, Om.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't remember. Coba yang lain, mungkin yang lain. Oma, Opa, there you go.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy. Yeah. So even words that you think, that is not obvious, they have like a bit of Dutch heritage in it, and that absolutely that helps you in the language because you have some reference in the language already. Yeah. Let's move to the next one. Yes, if you have to apply for a job, you are in your zoekjaar. So after your studies, you have an opportunity for a zoekjaar, so you can apply for jobs. Those jobs are not all in English, of course. So it's important to know Dutch. So you have your job interview, So it is helpful, and of course, point number 4, to get to know the culture, because if you know a little bit of Dutch, you know also why we say things, and you have a lot of sayings in Dutch, like we just talked about. Doe maar normaal, dat doe je al gek genoeg. And let's go Dutch. Molly, do you know what it is?
Which one?
Let's go Dutch.
I know Let's Go Dutch. That's part of your class, right?
Yes. So what does that mean? It's a saying. Let's go Dutch.
Let's speak Dutch.
Yes, but the saying says, if we go to a restaurant, Molly, you and me, and at the end there's not a formal arrangement of who's going to pay. Then say, let's go Dutch, and that means you pay 50% and I pay 50%.
Oh, okay.
It's important to know, Molly.
Yep. Wow, that's pretty basic, right? Okay, so well noted, Fons.
Okay. So, and then learning Dutch, it helps you with practicalities. Just small talk, just to make your introduction in a sports club, in society. It just helps you. Finding your way in the campus. Maybe there's no English sign. The signage are also in Dutch. Yeah. So it just helps you, just in your practical daily life. And well, the sixth reason, of course, is there are a few pockets in the world where they speak Dutch, but I guess no one will go to Suriname or the ABC Islands or Aruba, Curacao, or Bonaire, that is in the Pacific here. So these are actually old pockets of where the Dutch had their influence, so to say. Yeah. So let's have a look at this, Andrea, and let's go here and let's see what he has to say about Dutch.
Halo semuanya, saya Andrian Wicaksono, saya mahasiswa teologi. Saat ini saya masih belajar bahasa Belanda di kampus dengan menggunakan Delft semester. Belajar bahasa Belanda itu tadi manfaatnya pakai banget kalau misalnya di sini. Salah satunya yaitu bisa tahu peraturan yang di sini, baca surat-surat dari bank, dari pemerintah, dan itu kepake banget. Hari ini kita muter-muter dulu ya. Yuk. Jadi ini salah satu contohnya, mulai di 8 Juni nggak boleh naruh sepeda karena pekerjaan. Jadi karena hari ini cerah banget, banyak orang keluar, maka pemerintah udah antisipasi, ada peraturan bahwa jalan kaki harus jalan di kanan. Puthanger Srek. Itu salah satu contoh kita bisa melihat apa manfaatnya kan bahasa Belanda. Oke, segitu aja. Sampai bertemu lagi.
So that was Andrian. An ex-student who is now studying in Delft, and he's still studying Dutch language because it helps him a lot. And just to these times are also a bit different. So you are now in COVID times, and there are less students. Although students with an LOA have a special permission to go to the Netherlands to start their studies. And most of the time that will be blended. But Andrian is like he explained to me, he is in a class with a lot of Dutch people, and things happen. When you are only a few foreign students, then the Dutch talk is a little bit. So there's more people talking Dutch. And if you're in a more international classroom, that can happen also. Then the profound language is English. So it depends on what you end up with. So that is also for Andrian a reason to say, hey, I'm going to invest in this, and I'm going to learn Dutch. And later on, I will tell you can learn Dutch also in Belanda, but through Jakarta at my center. But that's later. So basically, Nelson Mandela said it right. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his hand. If you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart. So, and that's a beautiful saying by Mandela. And I agree to that. Absolutely. Okay, academic environment, daily life as a student. Oh, here you go. Here you go.
This is really important for the future students because I think some of the attendees, they are going to the Netherlands in September, I would say. So this is really, really important tips that you can share to all of us.
Very good, Molly. And later on in the Q&A, you can ask me all kinds of questions. But I just go through a few highlights here.
Yeah.
So be brave, and that is expected from you, and proactive to ask something that you want to your peers and your lecturers. It's so important. Just to stand up. If you don't know, ask again. There's no stupid question. Make a lot of friends, even on campus, in your class, outside your class. You need each other. You know, at ATC we do courses here for PhD trajectories, and that is a very individual trajectory. As a bachelor student and a master student, that is a more it's a more collective effort. So the education system in the Netherlands is they call it probleemgestuurd, the problem solving. You work in a lot of in your classes. You work a lot of in project groups where you have to adopt different roles, and process and outcome are equally important. And as a group, you get your marking. Yeah. So you really depend on each other. In a lot of cases, what your mark will be, what the outcome will be of your work. While doing that, never be te laat. Don't do that. Yes, that is a rule of engagement. And so in the Netherlands, very strict. Yeah, the rules of engagement are like, you have to be on time. You can actually be excluded from class when you're too late. So you have to. So people are used to make agenda appointments. Yeah, if you want to arrange meetings, get-togethers, put your agenda out or in your phone, make an appointment. You know, it's not like, can I see you tomorrow? No. Everything is by appointment. You know, everyone is very, very busy, and you can do a lot of things during the day, of course. And people are used to do that. I used to work before in Indonesia and in Sri Lanka, for example, and we had a rule: one appointment before lunch and one appointment after lunch, and that's it, because it was not possible. In the Netherlands, you can 5, 6 appointments before lunch and 3, 4 after lunch. You know, the agenda is quite full of people in the Netherlands. Don't forget that. Yeah. So if you do go shopping, most shops are already closed at 6. Not like at 20. So it depends also if you're in a rural area or in an urban area. Supermarkets will be open later, but public holidays take account of that as well, because shops are closed. If you want to shop for a nice dress or anything, Molly, and it is 7 o'clock, you can't go. Of course, there's online, you can do online. No problem. There's always online. But you know, if you want to go to a shop and you want to try, 6 o'clock. Of course, there's one day a week they have they call it koopavond. So the shops are open till 9, but there's only one day a week, and different days in different cities. So you have to find it out. I think you're gonna move around by bus, train, of course, but also bicycle. So, but here in Indonesia, I have a sepeda too. Yeah. But I just put my bike somewhere, and no one will care and steal it. Yeah. But in the Netherlands, you have to lock your bike. Okay, this is just a funny thing, of course. The Indomie, we have it. There are tokos, yeah. We have also, because of our joint past, so to say, we have a lot of Indonesian spices adopted, and we have a lot of dishes here, of course, that's influenced by Indonesia, and you have Asian supermarkets also. It's very nice. You can have like Japanese food, Chinese, or Indonesian, but especially Indonesian. Come on, that's proper nice food. And don't forget to register yourself everywhere. There are student discounts if you want to go to a movie theater. If you want to go with the train, there are discounts. Acquire membership cards. Very important. All right. So membership at Albert Heijn. This is a supermarket chain. There are more. There's Jumbo. There is Aldi. But this is the most famous one. This is for the Pathé theater. So you can have a subscription to go to the cinema for a very reasonable price. Then of course, this you have all these apps. You just put them on your phone, and there's .nl, very handy. And of course, you're in the Netherlands, but in 3.5 hours from Amsterdam, you are in Paris. Don't forget that.
So close.
Come on. So basically, you can go around, and there are special discounts and special conditions for students all the time. So check the news, check your friends, and that's why. And maybe with the PPE, you can also check them. They're also very good. They are very known about all the tips and tricks about the latest. So one of the students, actually, and that's funny, she studied here in Jakarta at ETC, and she went to the Netherlands, and we followed her. And just to give you a glimpse of this student, and also about how she found, what her experience was in the Netherlands. It's quite funny. This is Via, one of our ex-students, learning Dutch and acculturation, Dutch language and culture, and these are two crazy birds. But you will find out. I will show you a little footage of Via. Let's see how I do this.
There you go.
Hoi, ik ben Pia. Ik ben 17 jaar oud. Ik kom uit Bekassie en ik ga studeren in Nederland. Pergi kuliah di Belanda memang seru, tapi budaya dan bahasanya sangat berbeda. Ik ben erg blij om weer terug te zijn in het Erasmus Training Centre. Nu niet alleen om de taal te leren, maar ook om meer te weten over de Nederlandse cultuur en het dagelijks leven.
Nou, als jullie in Nederland zijn, is het natuurlijk belangrijk om de taal te kennen. Dan maken jullie op die manier vrienden.
Hi guys, sekarang gue lagi di market. It's so different from Indonesia, but I really love it here. Gue seneng banget, gue udah belajar bahasanya dan the culture is really different, but it's lovely over here. See? Wil je morgen mag ik een Porsche Kipling? Ja.
Morgen erbij, dankjewel.
Het belangrijkste openbaar vervoer in Nederland is de fiets.
Serunya, saat kita bersepeda, kita tetap menyapa orang kalau berpapasan, walaupun kita tidak kenal. Hoi.
Wat jij ook moet weten over Nederland is dat afspreken in Nederland anders is dan in Indonesië.
Salah satu perbedaan lainnya, kita harus bikin janji jauh-jauh hari sebelum mau ketemuan sama teman kita. Dan jangan lupa guys, jangan telat. Di sini kita semua harus tepat waktu.
Straks in Nederland zal je vaak het woordje gezellig horen. En het is bijna niet te vertalen.
Gezellig. Kita bisa gunain kata tersebut saat kita kumpul sama teman-teman dan saat kita enjoy momen tersebut. Aku seneng banget sih di sini, walaupun dingin, tapi aku udah prepare because aku ikut language and cultural preparation when I was back in Jakarta.
Wow, aku juga mau deh belajar di sana.
And we're back. Yes. So this was Via, and of course it's one of our promotion videos, but it is a nice insight of the Netherlands, and it's a nice, you get a nice picture of how people move around, and you saw all the bikes, unbelievable at the Groningen Rijksuniversiteit Groningen. So for the ones who are going there, back. So you have to remember where you put your bike. Let's talk about. So I represent the Erasmus Training Centre, and I just explain a little bit of what we do, and then we can move to the Q&A. Is that okay, Molly?
Yes.
Okay, I do this very quick. Yeah. So we are located here on an embassy of the Netherlands compound. Nice place, nice lush, nice green. So here our training, Dutch language, culture, and also academic preparation. So basically what we do is we try to be a meeting platform here for students, professionals, and academics, and support the higher education, of course. And next to that, we do preparation for work and citizenship as well. But our main pillar is, of course, Dutch language. And then we have the acculturation courses with culture, and also it's very much pinpoint to work. We have now big groups of actually medical personnel training to go for their studies in the Netherlands, and also for internships. And then, of course, we have the academic preparation courses for bachelor, masters, and also PhDs. So normally it's quite full here. It's now Friday, and normally there's a lot of students still hanging around here, but now, COVID is here, so we have to do everything online.
Exactly, social distancing.
And I miss it, I just miss the noises, the laughter, the questions that you get, and I meet a lot of students just on the hallway, just from my office to outside, and we have nice conversations always, and now it's kind of empty. Now I only have my staff. That's also good, of course. So basically, for bachelor and master students, we have acculturation course. It's very much focusing on language, culture. And then we have the academic preparation, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about this. So this is the acculturation. We include also, of course, do's and don'ts. Some information about medical treatment, work and income, daily life. So that goes very intensively into these kind of topics, apart from basic Dutch language. and because that goes hand in hand, of course, language and culture. Then for our pre-bachelor and master program, we have together with our partners, we have lecturers actually from the Netherlands coming to Indonesia to give a full week of training, what to expect in the Netherlands. And we have two focus areas, academic English skills and teaching and learning climate in the Netherlands. But you get classes from lecturers we fly over from the Netherlands, and they can give you real-time information about what to expect. What is expecting from your English skills, for example, research skills, how to give a good report in English, and what to expect in class. So that is very important. And I think this year, this is now 2020, we should have our third batch. So last year we had like almost 60 students going to all different universities and applied sciences. We had them here in our building, and they form a community, and that's also very important to know each other. Because Netherlands is such a small country, it's just so easy to just meet each other, eat together, cook together, talk together, and it's nice to have friends around the corner. And in the Netherlands, of course, everything is around the corner. So you only have to do a little bit of effort. So this program for our viewers who are not going to the Netherlands yet. So this program will be at our center in June, July 2021. So that's still, but later on you can just ask or contact us about the details about this program. And now, of course, we have our online courses, and that goes through the Zoom. So we have Dutch language in several levels, specializations, conversations, and conversation classes, specially designed. And actually now, at this moment, there are almost 15 Indonesian students who follow the course online with us. So what is the advantage? So you have Indonesian lecturers who have, of course, a degree in teaching Dutch, and of course, not unimportantly, the price is a bit cheaper than in the Netherlands, of course. And but if you want to do this, you can just also come to us. If you so these are. Later on, this will be shared. And that's it from my side. On Friday afternoon, almost 5 o'clock. We're almost done.
But we haven't finished yet because so many questions that you have to answer. So are you ready, Fons?
Well, shoot, please.
Okay, so there you go. So this is the questions number 1. Hold on 1 second. There you go.
Okay, hi Fons. Question about society. I observe they expect foreigners to get used to that they are being direct, but they doesn't seem able to accept if we are being direct to them. What do you say about that? But I don't find this too Dutchy that has been living abroad for long. So direct, huh? So about directness, yes, this is a good question of Dion. Direct is more in the sense of you can say what you want, and you can express your opinion, and a lot of people are holding back, and it's not rude to be direct, yes, but you always have to see the situation, but if you think and you want to express your opinion, it's not seen as a rude thing. And directness is it is also not a virtue. Come on, but Dutch being direct, they come to the they don't go around it. They go to the subject immediately, and that is what I experience as directness, Dutch directness. It is okay.
Okay. And then another one. Hold on one second. There you go.
Okay, what will be the ideal time to learn Dutch before start the bachelor there? 6 months, 1 year? Well, we have 3 terms a year, and so you can go for 3 levels in 1 year. But I think, if you want to learn the basics, we have basic 1. So that is running for 10 to 12 weeks, a course. And but now online 10 weeks, and that is 3 months in advance. And then, of course, if you are in the Netherlands, then you can practice your Dutch, and then you can, if you want, Herdy, then you can say, okay, I want to do an online course, and I want to bring it into practice immediately, and you can continue learning with us. So we're happy to facilitate your journey.
Cool. Another one. There you go. Hold on one second. Let me check.
Another one?
Yes. Let me try to publish it. There you go.
Okay. This is a question from Emmanuel. For most people learn Dutch in essay, how long did they take to speak Dutch fluently? Well, fluently, that is, of course, you need a lot of practice for fluent, to speak language fluent. But if we can give you the tools, so the grammar, the basics, the vocabulary, the practice also, to learn step by step the language. How long does it take to learn a language fluent? Yeah, it depends also on your time invested in it, and how much you can practice. And of course, we give here as Netherlands as a foreign language. This is called Netherlands as a foreign language. In the Netherlands, the same courses are called differently. This Netherlands as a second language, because you are in the Netherlands environment. So that goes quite fast in the Netherlands, because if you go abroad, if you go outside your student home or your campus, you have to speak Dutch. You can, at least you can practice it immediately, and you don't have to go your way and find another student to practice with. So it depends also on the where you are, but you have to put effort in it, and then how long? Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, another questions. Let me check. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
There you go.
What if we don't bring some present like wine or fruits? Maybe when Dutch invite us for dinner in their house. Is it rude? No, it's not rude. But most of the time, when you make a dinner, so if you're invited to a dinner, then you can bring something. That's okay. Or in advance, people say, "Can you bring the wine? Can you bring the cheese? Can you?" That's really so everyone brings something, and then you're asked to bring something. But it's not rude if you don't bring something. It's not rude at all, especially when you are a new invitee. People understand.
Okay, related with the wine or even like alcohol questions, there is a question from Cynthiana. How about if someone or judge us or invite us to have a drink, like to have alcohol drink, but we don't drink alcohol. Do you have to say it out loud, or how do we like decline it politely? Do you have any tips for that?
To have a drink, yeah, if you're invited to have a drink, it depends also, you know. If so, what time in the week it is? So on Friday, if you hear, do you go for drinks? You know, and that is most of the time seen as alcohol. But during the week, not at all. On the other hand, you can just say it, yeah. So, but you don't have to say it in advance. You know, you just order tea or coffee or Coca-Cola or any other refreshment. You don't have to drink alcohol. Please don't. Yeah. If I had to do that, I was not sitting here. Yeah. Then. So if with every invitation for a drink, no. It is not necessary to say in advance that you don't drink alcohol. No, that's fine.
Okay.
And people respect it also.
Of course, yes. So, well, we do still have a few questions, but again, the time is really limited. But I will send the question straight away to you to answer it online by email. But now it's 2:05, so basically our time is done. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Yes, thank God it's Friday.
Yes, the thing is, it's really, really insightful about the information for this afternoon. So thank you so much, Fons. This is really good.
You're welcome. And I was glad to do this, and I will follow up through email. And you know, I'm happy to do this, and just yeah, you know, this is just an outtake from me personally, yeah, and this is not a general outtake, yeah, and you know, just from a Dutchman that experience. Yeah, society like that, and yeah, it was a pleasure to do this. Yeah.
Oh, so we are hoping all the attendees get the very insightful information from today's session. So thank you so much once again for joining us. Dan bagi Sobat Neso, untuk pertanyaan yang belum terjawab, tadi seperti janji saya akan langsung kirim email kepada Fons dan juga Mbak Sari dari ETC supaya bisa bantu dijawab secara online ya, karena waktu kita sangat terbatas. 1 jam nggak kerasa, the time goes so quick than we thought. Okay. So Fons, once again, thank you so much for joining with us. Hopefully we can see each other very soon, because normally we see each other at the office, but not for these 4 months.
Now we have to use Click meeting to meet, huh?
Yeah, very good. We are seeing each other through online. But sekali lagi buat semua Sobat Neso, terima kasih banyak sudah berpartisipasi. Semoga kita bertemu lagi di lain kesempatan. Sekarang saya sedang menampilkan survei untuk sesi kali ini. Tolong diisi. Dan nantinya juga kita akan ketemu lagi minggu depan ya, dengan topik yang lebih menarik lagi, yaitu topik seputaran makanan Belanda lebih spesifik lagi. Jadi kita akan share dengan teman-teman yang ada di Belanda, biasanya mereka makan apa ya, dan mereka caranya masaknya juga gimana. Itu yang akan kita tampilkan. Ini merupakan sesi persiapan untuk menjelang teman-teman terbang ke Belanda, karena memang lagi yang kita sering get in chat nih sama teman-teman dari mahasiswa yang akan segera berangkat untuk ditampilkan topik-topik persiapan yang akan dibawa untuk ke Belanda nanti ya. Mudah-mudahan topik kali ini bermanfaat, dan sampai ketemu lagi di hari Rabu dan juga hari Jumat dalam rangkaian acara Study in Holland Online Series di rumah aja. Saya dengan Molly dan juga Fons pamit. Kita bertemu lagi dengan kesempatan. Terima kasih. Selamat sore dan happy weekend.
Bye.
Thank you, Fons. Bye.
Bye.